Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, last day of January. 31 days in January, and it's past us. Now we're into the leap month. Well, tomorrow we are. Tomorrow we start leap month. That'll be good. That'll be exciting. I mean, for someone who talks about days as the introduction to a show every day, like what day it is, leap month is a Super Bowl situation for me. It's like this is what I'm here for. And the actual Super Bowl is going to be in that month. So, I mean, perfect storm. All right. Doug's been added.
Quality content, Matt. Really quality content we got going on here.
Yeah, you got to find something to talk about in the beginning. People, I think, expect to talk about the dates. So
I was talking to somebody the other day who's doing a 300 every day they want for 2024. Their goal is to do some sort of exercise. So that could be a run or a HIIT workout or swimming, cycling, whatever. But something every single day. And he was like 365. He's calling. I think it's like 20 by 365 or something like that. And I was like, it's leap year 366, and you could almost like see his like heart just broke his heart. It was like he wanted to give up the whole goal.
Because that one extra day would break his back.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Does he have T-shirts printed and stuff of 365 on it?
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know, but it's just, like he was devastated that that was this extra day that he didn't know about.
That's funny. I heard from two different sources yesterday. An email I got from my kettlebell guru guy, and Holden mentioned it as well, that the year is 7% over as of yesterday. So
whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was odd that it seems like a big number, but I was just surprised. I never hear that about how far we are into the year, but twice yesterday.
It's kind of a good way to think about the year, actually. Like, if you think about what you want to achieve or what you want to do this year, for it to be 7% over already, or like 30% or whatever, think about the year that way. I think it's kind of an interesting
it is
way
good.
to do it.
When I first saw the stat yesterday, my thinking was like, this is silly though, because it's not like my life ends when the year ends. It's just like I'm 7% done, this just arbitrary thing. But that still is a useful way to set goals and achieve things, is give yourself a deadline. So so there we go, 7%, and actually a little bit more now. So that's it. All right, good morning to Britters, Stephen Dunn. Stephen yesterday, I thought maybe Stephen has stopped watching the show. I didn't really know, because he's always comes in, checks in a little bit, but now he's even caught up on yesterday's show.
Oh, no. Stephen was here when I was out, and he's on my naughty list because he was one of the ones who joined in on the. In on the.
Did he join in, or he just?
Oh no, he joined in. He said he I forget what he said, but it was some comment on on how Isabella is better than Doug. So.
Man. Who? I mean, yeah, you can go back. I don't think maybe you don't realize you can go back and see all the comments and everything. You can go watch the comments stream live. So people thought they could just say whatever they wanted about Doug. All right, Stephen, Liverpool coach has stepped down. That's big news in Stephen's world, I'm sure. I meant to text him about that about a week ago, I think. All right, good morning to Garuda Legends, Jody Shuck, Kate, Matt O'Connor, Allie, and Britter says, do we need to make Team Doug shirts for redemption? I think this should say Team Doug 365 2024. That's what we need.
Yep.
All right. Doug, any good, interesting dinners or workouts or anything yesterday that we should talk about before we jump into the show? We have a good show today, but as you've probably seen by the headline, should vegan restaurants put meat back on the menu? That's the controversy. We pivoted to that away from the protein article, because the protein article actually wasn't so good. So this one actually is good. But before that, Doug, anything to catch up on here?
No, I mean, my runs have been fairly standard. I'll have an update on the 5K stuff soon, but not yet. Here's something to talk about. Okay. I've decided to shift. There's a lot of talk about happiness, right? And mindfulness and gratitude, and how that leads to like living a happy, fulfilling life. But, like, what is happy really? So I've started to kind of. I've been thinking about. For some reason, this birthday has impacted me more than any birthday in recent memory. As far as like my thinking.
38 years old, right?
38, yeah.
Okay.
And one of the things, part of like what I'm thinking about is fit and kind of trying things. But one of them is I want to focus less on happy and more on fun. So like not fun at the expense of long-term health or long-term whatever, but like what can I be doing that like just I want to have more fun. Like yeah, I don't know, go skiing more, like doing things that bring more joy to me, and like hanging out with friends or playing a game or something that just is not mindless, like scrolling or watching TV, but just having actual fun where like time passes quickly and you're laughing or
You enter the flow state.
Your flow state. Yeah.
Yeah. I watched a TED talk about fun. It was a woman arguing that we all need more fun in our lives. And she gave you some ways to measure it, defined what fun isn't. And she did mention scrolling phones. So I like that. I agree with you about the happiness thing. Like happiness sounds like something we should all want. And I think many people would say that is the purpose of life, is to achieve as much happiness as you can during that period. But it's a very fuzzy term and it has different facets, right? There's like the short term, like if you think you are happy from maybe even scrolling a phone, right? In some moments, that feels like that's what would make you happy. Is like just get some quiet time to go do that, or drink alcohol. It gives you this feeling, but that's so different from like the fulfillment you get from something that is harder to do, and even something perhaps that is fun, or maybe it's a whole different category where you go skiing, right? Maybe not hard, but it does take some effort to make it happen. So yeah, I like that. Tell me what you figure out. I'd love to hear if you find the right definition of what fun really is and ways to do it. Because I like that. I'm on board.
What was the last thing you did that was fun? What'd you say?
The first thing that comes to mind is Holden and I play this stupid soccer game in the house, but like I did when I was a kid, right? Where you like make up a game where you have something be the goal, someone's the goalie crawling around on the carpet and diving all over. Like that's always fun. It makes me laugh in a fun way. And riding on roller coasters, similar feeling. I think there's more fun that I experience on a typical day. It doesn't have to be like joyful laughter, right? You can
it doesn't have to be playfulness, right?
Right. So I don't know.
Like
it's hard to say.
I would say playing chess is fun, but I'm not really like laughing or like anything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to keep thinking about that.
All right. Let us know where you arrive, because I like it.
I will.
I think it's a nice goal.
And how about you, Matt? Anything you ate?
We made pizzas yesterday. The pizzas that you get on me for, saying that I'm eating processed food, the whole food, whole wheat thin crust pizzas with. We did one with tomato sauce. And by the way, I've changed my sprinkle cheese recipe. Added in some walnuts in with the cashews, make a little more bite. I read because I saw another vegan parm recipe that had only walnuts, and I thought that seems like too much walnuts, but mixing it in. So anyway, put that on pizza. But we've also, when we make these pizzas, they come in a 2-pack. We've been making one Mediterranean style with like a hummus topping, Kalamata olives, roasted red peppers, artichokes, arugula, balsamic drizzle. I think that's it. Maybe there's something else. Anyway,
sounds like a lot of toppings to me, but
it is a lot of toppings. You're right. It's not a standard pizza at all. It's more, I would call that a flatbread. That it's okay to put some toppings on there. It is a lot. It's a lot of flavors. I'll give you that. Not quite the pureness that I like, purity that I like of taste. But anyway, it's something different. And that's our, like, when both kids have soccer practice and no one can cook anything, that's what we do. And it works out okay.
Do you use your pizza oven?
We do that, but that's a much more involved thing. Like for this, we would just put it in the regular oven. But when Aaron wants to actually make the dough, we'll do pizza. And I think we probably do that once a month, probably have a pizza day, which is good. It's about what it should be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, there's your little update. Steven says he does still love the show, and he's still a fan of Doug even. And he says, yes, we will miss Klopp.
That's good. Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, and the Liverpool coach is who Klopp is. He stepped down. Britter says, I think doing something fun creates natural happiness versus trying to actually seek happiness. So that's interesting, right? Maybe happiness shouldn't be pursued as much as welcomed. And Mr. Jeffrey checks in with good morning, everyone.
I would say, all right, I haven't really thought about this, so I might be wrong. But, I'd say if you're having a lot of natural fun, then chances are you're doing it with community. You're doing some sort of activity that's somewhat fulfilling. Like your soccer thing with your son, or like playing keepy uppy with a balloon, which is what I've been doing a lot with Chloe. That's not particularly filling, but I'm doing it with someone and it's bringing me joy.
Yeah.
like if you're doing a lot of things that are fun, you probably have a lot of the things that people seek for happiness, right? Community, fulfillment, purpose.
Sure.
So seek the fun and the
You
happiness.
automatically get happiness. You may be right about that. I think perhaps in the TED talk I watched, in her definition of fun, I think it said you couldn't be by yourself. It generally would not lead to the type of fun she was talking about, which isn't true. You could go skiing by yourself and have a good time.
Definitely.
And have fun.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, but I think that was in her criteria. Anyway, I'm sure I'm mixing it up, but yeah, I think that is all very wise, Doug. So many good insights will come from this for sure. All right, I'm excited about the show today. We have some fun things, good weather report, interesting stuff, and a big discussion. I think a big discussion about this vegan restaurant thing. It sounds like a small issue, but I think it's big. All right, here we go. We talked about this probably 4 or 5 months ago. Kernel, the robot-powered meat-free restaurant that's from Chipotle founder Steve Ells. I think it doesn't have to do with Chipotle other than that. Has now received funding from 2-star NFL players, one of whom, Doug, is the favorite of the show, Chicago Bears quarterback Justin Fields.
All right.
Which Veg Economist incorrectly states he is vegan here. We know otherwise. We know he is pescatarian now, unless he's gone back, and I don't think so. And New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, who I don't really know. They've invested, which is kind of cool. Justin Fields, I guess that's part of his brand now, is being a guy who promotes plant-based things, or at least healthy things. This place is going to open soon in February 12th. That's coming month, my Super Bowl month, in the Flatiron district of New York City, 315 Park Avenue South. It'll focus on lunch, opening only from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That's strange hours. Why not? If it's just robots, can't you just put it on all the time?
Yeah, I know. Why did I keep it 24/7, man?
Yeah. I don't know. But here's some details about this thing. It's got a robotic arm to handle food prep and a conveyor belt that will move dishes through the kitchen. Sounds a lot like Quiznos had, except they didn't have a robot arm. But they had a conveyor belt, and it was right there front and center.
We know how that turned out.
Yeah, right. Just 3 workers are said to be required to add the final touches and package the order. Still sounds a lot like Quiznos to me. Food will then be placed in cubbies to be collected by customers who order in advance via an app. So it'll be like I wish there weren't 3 workers required, because this just sounds like a sub shop. It really doesn't sound like that special at all.
Like, how many people are at Chipotle? There can't be that many more than 3.
Right.
5.
I mean, I assume in the back there are a few people doing stuff that I don't see. But
Yeah.
in a Quiznos, there's no back. It's just, I don't think. It's just the people in front. So I don't know. I'm suddenly thinking this isn't so revolutionary. But we'll see what happens. But it is vegan. They're serving a meat-free fast food menu, including plant-based chicken sandwiches, burgers, salads, and more. And they want 15 locations in 2 years. So that'd be cool. I'm curious to check this place out and see if it is different from Quiznos. All right. On to the next. Baltimore-based startup Meet the Mushroom, that's MEAT, the Mushroom, has secured a $150,000 investment on Shark Tank from Kevin O'Leary and Lori Greiner. I know who Kevin O'Leary is. I don't know who Lori Greiner is. Doug, you a Shark Tank guy?
Yeah, I've watched a number of Shark Tank episodes. Lori is, I think she's the QVC specialist.
Okay. I can't picture. I can picture Barb, I think.
Oh, no. Name. I am wrong about that. That's not. She's not the QVC one. I don't know, but she's on. She's been on. Oh yeah, no, Queen of QVC. There we go. Yeah, okay. QVC.
Good. All right. Well, she now owns a piece of Meet the Mushroom. The investors got 33.3% in it, and what this place makes, their big product is Shroom-makin, which is like shrooms and bacon together. Simple product, 5 ingredients: king oyster mushrooms, olive oil, natural smoke flavor, salt, and black pepper. You know what? This is exactly the recipe that I use when I make shiitake bake, and it's delicious. So I'm not surprised that this is good. The king oyster mushroom, I guess, would let you have what they say here is a long strip of mushroom, and you can't get that with shiitakes. You just get little crumbles once they dry out. So that's a good innovation there. But that's what I put in there. I mean, olive oil, sometimes liquid smoke, but not always. You could put smoked paprika, add some smokiness that way. You could use smoked salt, I guess, too. But salt, black pepper, I mean, they literally just took the recipe and just started making it. And now they're Shark Tank superstars, Shark Tank millionaires, maybe. Apparently
It's
there
all
was
sold
initial.
out. Their website is entirely sold out.
Wow, look at that. Can't even get it. The Shark Tank effect, I guess.
I guess so.
And I guess this would have aired. If it didn't air yet, you wouldn't know this. This doesn't. I had a friend who got some window thing on Shark Tank, and he went on. They didn't get funded, but couldn't tell anybody until the show came out. Anyway, despite initial skepticism regarding the business's future, they were won over. So I guess they probably tried it and said, "This is really good." So you'll have to see that episode, Doug, and see what.
Yeah, I'll have to check this out. I bet it's on there. So I bet we can find a clip. That's cool.
Yeah,
33% for $150,000 makes it feel like a pretty small company, but
yeah,
not anymore. Maybe not anymore.
No,
Baltimore based.
Yeah, I know.
Hometown.
I'm a little surprised at this, honestly. I don't know. I don't know the Shark Tank people's like leanings, political leanings, and all that stuff. I'm surprised they didn't take this as an opportunity to say, vegan meat is dead. This is bad. This is a terrible business. It's not going to work. So maybe that was the initial skepticism, and maybe then they were won over once they tasted it. It is different from the other meats because it's real food.
Yeah,
and I think people want that. That's definitely mindful of the trend back towards the vegetables, putting the veggies back in the veggie burger.
If you saw this, would you buy it, or would you just go home and make your own?
No, I think I'd buy it because of the size of it. But I can get king oyster mushrooms at Super G Mart, and now I'm going to do that. Now I have a great idea to make this and start a business. But no, I'd probably buy it and then try it and then say, I'm going to make that. I don't know. What about you? Are you into this idea?
Yeah, I would try it. I would definitely try it. Yeah.
I mean, it's remarkably good. That's the thing. At least if this is like the shiitake thing, and I'm guessing it is. I think shiitakes really have a lot of that umami flavor. I don't know if king oyster mushrooms do. The size of them makes me think that they would be like a little bit diluted in flavor. But I mean, it's like really good. I remember my dad, before he was even had attempted vegan diet, he tried this thing I made, and he said that is remarkably like bacon, and it really is. It's amazing.
Why don't we see more of it?
Yeah, I know. That's a good question. I don't know, because it was too small. Now someone said I'm going to do it out of the king oyster mushroom.
Do you have to marinate it for very long?
No, none. You just toss it in oil and salt and pepper. That's it, and it just goes in. It takes like 25 minutes.
All right.
So people should try that. People listening should try that right now or today. If you have shiitakes in your house, you can do it. And then check back in tomorrow and let us know what you think. I bet not one person will do that. But if they do, I'm going to be a fan of them. Because why not? Why wouldn't you try that? All right, moving on.
Each pack. All right, sorry, hold on. Each pack is $13.
Well, I guess they got good profit margins there. I don't know how much the king oyster mushrooms cost. I mean, I'm gonna actually start selling this stuff.
I mean, $13 for a pack of bacon, and it looks like it's no bigger than, I don't know, a dozen strips or something. Not even.
Yeah. What does a regular bacon cost? A pack of that, like $5?
No way, it's $13. Yeah, $5, $3.
Oh, we might have a business opportunity here, Doug. Knockoff.
Yeah.
But I bet they don't have a platform like the Plant-Based Morning Show to launch their thing from.
You can get bacon from Walmart for $3.73 for a pack.
It's pretty cheap.
That is hard to beat. That's
right. That's not our customer though. We're going after someone who's willing to pay a little bit more for healthy, sustainable, ethical food. It's our target market.
Yeah.
All right. Are we doing this, Doug? Is this business happening?
I mean, come on, why not? We can we can make some knockoff Just Egg as well and have a whole breakfast line.
There you go. I like it. All right. The obligatory cultivated meat bill proposal law news. There's always something. This time in the U.S. though, Mike Rounds and John Tester. Doug, are they in your circles as a town councilman?
No, I don't know who they are. I don't know what state?
I don't know. May have deleted that from the article. Anyway, they've got the School Lunch Integrity Act of 2024, and they want to amend nutritional requirements that are already established in 1966. They want to ban cell-cultivated meat from the National School Lunch Program and the School Breakfast Program. And Senator Rounds articulated the rationale. He said, our students should not be test subjects for cell-cultivated, quote, meat experiments. South Dakota farmers and ranchers, so he must be South Dakota. South Dakota farmers and ranchers work hard to produce high-quality beef products. With high-quality local beef readily available for our students, there's no reason to be serving fake lab-grown meat products in the cafeteria. And then Senator Tester, the other guy, he emphasized the quality of Montana's meat production, advocating for student access. Anyway, so there you go. And as soon as I hear them trying to talk about the farmers, I realize that this isn't purely a health issue that they're concerned about.
No,
it's
their
protecting interests. Yeah. And then I think, well, that's not really scientific anymore. And they're just, they're just biased. So I don't know. I mean, in a way, I kind of
Mike
agree.
Rounds is a Republican from South Dakota and John Tester, a Democrat from Montana.
Okay.
So, bipartisan bill.
Look at that.
From
Across
two
the
states, two states that are probably high cattle producers, right? South Dakota and Montana.
For sure. Yeah. So
I mean, that's silly. Like, why would we assume that that school lunches would be the first to get this cultivated meat?
Right. Like, I'm not saying that we need this act, and I don't really know. I don't really know if they would make this go in school lunches. I kind of agree with the experiments thing. Like, it'd be nice to have this stuff out for a few years and make sure things are good before we start giving it to all the children. I guess I could agree with that part. But once we've got some evidence that this is safe, I don't know. Seems like we don't need a law prohibiting it.
I mean, but all right. One more thing about this.
Okay.
How high do you think that the government issued bacon and ground beef and everything that these kids are eating in their school lunch actually is? Like, it's probably pretty low quality meat. Don't you think?
Probably.
The chicken nuggets on your lunch plate are low quality.
Right. Yeah. So this might, even if it's an experiment, maybe safer.
Maybe safer, healthier, cleaner. Yeah.
Also way more expensive. So why would this even be an issue, right? They're not going to put that on school lunch menus.
Definitely. For now.
Yeah, for now, right. Eventually it will be the same price. Price parity will be achieved. All right, and the last but not least, actually this is at least, luxury vegan chocolates made by Fetcha Chocolates. That's a Scottish company. They will be included in this year's famous Everyone Wins Oscars gift bags. I didn't know about these gift bags, but they are given to all Academy Awards nominees. So the rich get richer. You get to be on TV. You get to be at this amazing party. And then you also get $125,000 worth of gifts, including a luxury holiday, which I guess is a trip somewhere.
That's so wild.
Yeah, just for being nominated. Which is good. I mean, good for you being nominated. I mean, you deserve it, right? It's a hard, competitive industry, and that's amazing. Yeah. But it just seems unfair.
Where's my luxury trip?
Yeah. We were veggie award nominees. We didn't get any.
I know.
Nothing.
That's exactly right. They could definitely pull together a gift bag for us.
They could definitely get some vegan chocolates at least. Yeah. So
exactly. Jody Shuck wants to know where our swag bag is. That's right.
Yeah. The founder, MacArthur, I don't know her first name here. She said creating chocolates for this gift bag is a dream come true. She mentioned she looks forward to sharing it with big name Oscar nominees like Bradley Cooper, Emily Blunt, Robert De Niro, Paul Giamatti, Jodie Foster, and Christopher Nolan. Yeah. Which of those, Doug, do you think is most deserving? I'd say Robert De Niro for Meet the Parents. Excellent work. And Paul Giamatti, Sideways, good movie. Jodie Foster was in Little Man Tate. It's a favorite of mine when I was a kid. Oh, Bradley Cooper, Limitless. I don't know who to pick here. They're all good. All could win.
Here's a question. What do you think? How likely do you think that any of those people are to actually eat this chocolate versus their team just getting it and eating it?
Yeah, right. I don't know. That's a good question. Like remember Mark Zuckerberg had his water glass covered up with a coaster so no one would put poison in it. So I mean, you're probably not eating things that are randomly given to you. I guess there's some vetting going on here, but I don't know. Good question. And would they recognize it's vegan and be like, hey, this vegan stuff's not so bad. Maybe I'll start being more vegan.
Right.
Doubt it.
I mean, I guess the dream is that your product is they're just like munching on it while they're sitting on a park bench somewhere, and paparazzi takes a photo. And...
yeah, or they put it on Instagram. Steven loves these award shows, I think. In this case, he says, "Where are the turtles?" Oh, that's an Office reference, I believe. When they give the gift baskets and then they go back to the place and the guy's already eaten the turtles, the little chocolate turtles. Classic, good scene. But doesn't Steven always ask if we watched the award show last night, whatever it was? Maybe just once.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. So there's your weather report. That was good. And you know what? That's probably the best weather report we've had in a long time, actually. It was 4 things, all a different topic.
Yep.
And they were all good. So I hope we can keep getting weather reports like that. Okay, time for the feature story of the day. The one we pivoted to, away from the protein. This sounds like an Onion article, the first headline. Vegan restaurant adds meat to its menu. And that's just telegraph.co.uk. It sounds like a local paper thing might do, but instead it's the national newspaper. Vegan restaurant adds meat to its menu. Nomas Gastrobar struggles to attract customers as Britain's veganism boom loses steam. So it's called Nomas. I don't know if it's like a Spanish play, Nomas, or if it's Nomas. I don't know. I'm getting blocked from the article. Okay, I got it again. All right, so this is just one example. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but there happens to be another article on the same day that says, could putting meat on the menu save the vegan fast food sector? And this is from restaurantonline.co.uk, and they actually cite this Nomas diner situation or Nomas gastrobar situation in their article, but mostly they're talking about another brand that has like 4 different kind of fast food outposts around London or around UK, and then they're kind of talking about making a new chain, like they have a diner version of their chain and expanding that to be like a hybrid, to have vegan stuff and the meat stuff. So we talked about this yesterday a little bit, or related to this. We said, should the vegan meats and the vegan cheeses in the grocery store, should that stuff be in its own section, or should it be mixed in with everything else? A little bit of a different issue, but not that different, because to go get the vegan fish, for example, you'd have to go see all the dead fish. And that's kind of, it's not that different from the experience of going and ordering fish in a restaurant or vegan fish in a restaurant where they serve regular fish and you wonder what goes on in the kitchen or if there's contact and all that. So it's really not that different at all, which is why this seemed like a significant thing. In the case of Nomas, he says they basically, of course, they meant it to be a vegan place, but the reality of the situation now is that people are leaving the restaurant because of the vegan factor. Most people are not vegan, so they will not pay for this English breakfast with bacon and sausage that is plant-based. And many people walk out straight out after reading its menus. So they're going to be adding pork sausages, bacon, and eggs to the menus, as well as now serving pork and chicken heroes and beef burgers. So they're just going for it, right? This isn't just adding one.
That's just a regular old restaurant with maybe some. Right. Yeah, I hope that they keep some vegan options too. But
I mean, you have to imagine they would, but I also imagine like there will be, like, if it's really successful and people are ordering the other stuff, you could see some places just getting rid of the vegan part and just being like maybe a healthy food restaurant or something. So anyway, they said a lot more problems with this. Is all the well-told decline of veganism as far as commercial interests go. Happening in the UK, big run-up in the run-up to the Christmas holiday. There was meat, fish, poultry, dairy spending went way up. And the vegan stuff did not rebound in January as it typically does, or not to the extent that it typically does. So they're saying that even in the UK, where it seems like vegan stuff has been much more, popular than in the United States recently, even there, the bubble is seeming to burst a bit, and people are just wanting their meat and cheese again. So, I don't know, Doug, what do you think here? I mean, at first I thought this is bad. Like, there's always needs to be a place for a lot of vegan restaurants, because people don't want cross-contamination. They want to be able to go and look at the whole menu and, know that they're among their people. But I've been saying for years that if I get more excited about going out to eat if I'm going to a regular omnivore restaurant and I know they have a good vegan item for me, because I just feel like they they just know food better. And I mean, that's probably unfair, but I feel like there's a lot of vegan restaurants that only exist because they're vegan and like you get some vegan supporters, but the food's not really that good. That's
Yeah.
not often the case with like a regular restaurant. It's a different competitive space they're in. They got to be good. Maybe Mr. Jeffrey can talk to us about this. And I don't know. I just feel like if they're really good at food and they care about the vegan dish or dishes that they offer, you can get something really good. And it's just to me a more exciting vibe. So I think I'm in favor of this. I think I like this. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Doug?
So, I mean, first of all, I think that if someone wants to open a vegan restaurant, they should open a vegan restaurant, right? Like, and shouldn't feel like they have to serve meat.
Yeah, but you gotta sell stuff too. And if no one's buying vegan stuff anymore.
Totally. I mean, if it's not working out, then you got to either figure out like maybe this is not something I want to do, or I got to adapt and create something that people actually want. And maybe that is meat. If I were going to open a restaurant, it would probably be like a vegetarian restaurant. I think about my brother-in-law ran a vegetarian like breakfast lunch spot for several years, and they're like egg and cheese bagels and sandwiches and stuff like that were their best sellers, and I think they had plenty of business. Like business was not an issue. Everything else was vegetarian or vegan. There was no meat there. But like having that egg and cheese was kind of this like gateway for a lot of people who don't necessarily want their bacon on their breakfast sandwich.
Right.
But want the egg or something like that. And I think like that makes a lot of sense. And it kind of, it doesn't entirely align with my values, but at least it's closer than cooking up a bunch of sausages. So I do think that would probably be the way to go. And you see that. I mean, we see that in the Asheville restaurant scene. Like there's quite a few vegetarian spots that aren't fully vegan.
Right. Yeah. So I guess I'm wondering if this is indicative of a bigger trend happening. I've been talking for a little while about this idea that I think the flexitarian thing is coming in a big way. That I think a lot of vegans are going to go away, and I hope that a lot of omnivores are going to reduce their meat consumption and come the way of very plant-forward diet. You don't eat any, fake vegan meats. You have a little bit of regular actual meat sometimes, which I don't know how ethically you handle that. That seems hard. But I could just sort of see this happening. And like there's also mentioned in this article by the owner of I think it's called Oowe, the restaurant, OOWEE. Yeah, they're like the main focus of this restaurant online article. They talk about that and I don't know quite how this fits in, but they mentioned exactly this: is that people want the vegetables now. They don't want the fake meat patties anymore. They're noticing that demand too. So you and I have seen that. We noticed that we experienced that, I think, as we started the show and started trying more and more fake meats. We started just wanting the other stuff. Then we started seeing headlines and articles saying that same thing. And now it's here as well. So I'm just starting to think this is a thing, that this is a real thing that's happening. And I just wonder, like, I guess, I don't know. Somehow it seems like that actually makes it easier. Like if everyone, and maybe this is very wishful thinking, but like, is everyone focusing much more wanting whole foods now than they used to? Are they just less interested in ultra processed foods and processed things? Therefore, they don't want the plant-based meats, but they also want more vegetables. And like, people just want a place where they can go and get actual good food. Because I think that'd be, I don't know. Like I can imagine myself if there was a restaurant that served fantastic veggie burger made from real veggies, or just really, really good vegetable dishes, but they also had meat. And I just kind of had this sense that the stuff I was ordering was not touching the meat, wasn't near the meat stuff. I don't know. I could just see that working really well. And a vegetable-centric kind of restaurant that still serves some meat, and didn't do the vegan fake stuff. I don't know. I don't think I'm making a good case for this, but I can just sort of see that convergence happening between this vegan whole food world and the omnivorous whole food world. Kind of come together.
Did you do you ever go to Green Sage?
Yes.
In Nashville.
Yep.
I like that restaurant a lot. And it's not vegan, it's not vegetarian. They serve meat, maybe half the items are meat items, but the other half are vegan or at least close to that amount are. And I felt like it was like good quality.
Right.
had like tempeh or tofu scramble or something like that. Not, there's a black bean burger. I'm looking at the
I
menu
think they have
now.
a
There's
sausage
no
too that they make in house out of
homemade
vegan
sausage.
stuff, yeah.
There's no like Beyond stuff and that kind of thing. And anytime we're we're in Nashville and we want a place to get lunch or breakfast food or brunch, something like that, like that's the first place I think of.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so vegan friendly, but also, like you said, just kind of attracts people who want to eat a healthy meal, right?
Yeah.
And I could see that being a very successful model for people. But how does that align with values? Like if you're a vegan and you want to open a restaurant, like
right, that'd be hard. I think vegans would have to stop opening restaurants and just leave it to the omnivores or the people who are this new kind of flexitarian that I'm envisioning. They're the ones who open the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fast food is its own beast, I think. And when people go to get fast food, they're kind of generally looking for junk food. But if Burger King made a fantastic, true veggie burger that was really good, would anybody order it there? And by the way, in Germany, they had one of these. They had I forget what it was called, but the Veggie King or something. It was kind of disappointing because I was wanting like an actual vegan fake meat thing I couldn't get over here, and I got that. I was like, this is a veggie burger. I can get that in the grocery store, in the freezer.
Yeah, I would eat it. I think people would eat it.
Would they? Who would get it? The vegans saying, I don't want a Beyond Burger or an Impossible Whopper, so I'll get that?
There have to be a lot of people who are looking for a truly healthier option. And when they, now that everyone understands that the Whopper isn't all that healthier, the Impossible Whopper isn't really any healthier.
Except for AOL.com. They still don't know.
They still don't know. But, I have to imagine there are people who want that. Because there are people who go to Wendy's and order a salad, like a chicken salad, right? Because that's healthier than the chicken sandwich.
Right.
And
maybe more omnivores would try that thing too. Because there's all this anti-fake meat rhetoric that I just think some people who wanted a healthier thing, even though they're at Burger King, might say, I'm going to get that thing made out of vegetables and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This should have been my trend of the year prediction. Actually, I think it's a little too early. This is my trend of the 5 years. So the end of 2025 is when I think we're going to be living in this world. All right, a couple comments here. Steven has eaten 3 times at Green Sage. Enjoyed it. Yeah, good place. Nice. I like Green Sage. Jody Shuck's favorite Asheville restaurant is 9 Mile. That is also, to me, underappreciated Asheville restaurant.
You're right about that.
It's not a vegetarian place, right?
No. They've
got a couple dishes. They mix pasta and Jamaican flavors, and they're just good, delicious food, in my opinion. So good.
Man, we got a lot of Asheville knowledgeable people. Brandon Turner, Laughing Seed is great Asheville as well. That's a vegetarian, so they have vegan and vegetarian.
Oh, is that right? They're not fully vegan.
No.
Okay.
They serve eggs and stuff like that.
And I think did Jason from Plant did he start out at Laughing Seed? Am I right about that?
Ooh, I don't know.
I might be wrong about that. So there's something about Laughing Seed that has some bit of history like that. Yeah, Laughing Seed is a good place. All right, Kate says,
Rivercat says, I know a lot of people who avoid red meat and would love a good, inexpensive veggie burger.
Yeah, people who I guess might otherwise get the chicken sandwich or something at a Burger King, but I don't think many people get that. Maybe I'm wrong. But they'd get a veggie burger. Yeah. And let's see. Garuda Legend says, the thing is, there's a shift where people are avoiding processed food now and realizing meat is not unhealthy. It will be hard for vegan restaurants because of that. I was kind of thinking that exact same thing. The Whopper customer does probably realize that the Whopper is unhealthy, and they might choose a veggie burger instead. The restaurant goer who has an option to get a grass-fed burger, they probably don't think that is unhealthy. Maybe they do. Maybe there's still some red meat equals unhealthy, left over, and may or may not be true. I think processed red meat is more or less unequivocally unhealthy, but I don't know about regular red meat. But so that this is tough. If people think that meat is healthy, then my thesis kind of goes out the window. I mean, I guess they still want some vegetables, but if they still want that meat at the center of every meal plate because they think it's healthy, then then we're kind of screwed. I guess we don't get any restaurants. All right, Mr. Jeffrey, who has restaurant experience, says the restaurant industry is so fussy. You kind of have to have something for everyone nowadays if you want any chance to survive. And that is interesting because most businesses, you kind of don't do that. You just pick your niche and go for it and let the people who it's not for, it's fine. It's just not for them. And that's how you really resonate with the people who it is for. And I think that happened with vegan stuff for a while, but maybe just like with the burgers, there was too much inflow of investment. Like maybe just too many vegan restaurants opened up thinking the world's going that way. And now it's just competitive and hard to survive as the number of vegans, gets smaller, which it is in the United States anyway. So yeah, I don't know how you do that, but
I have never thought there are too many vegan restaurants. I mean, like I've never been to a place where I'm like, oh, there's just too many of them. You know? Have you?
No, but as soon as I think if we're such a small niche, as soon as we're like satisfied with how many there are, it means there's too many.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I do not know. I'm not sure what the future is here.
Follow up from Mr. Jeffrey. It's because people go out to eat together, so you need to please the group, whereas shop for their own can do that, especially, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So other businesses where it's a niche individual shopping choice, you can target, you can be narrow there, but in a place where community focused thing, you have to cater to more people. That was also mentioned in this article, the idea of people going out together to eat, and that does make a lot of sense. It does. I don't know. Like, what if every restaurant just had, if it became more of a thing that, let's say there were fewer vegan restaurants in the world, but many more restaurants had a quarter or an eighth of their menu space dedicated to plant-based options. And it was just a thing. And it was just sort of known that you don't mingle the foods, everyone's generally careful about not mixing, not cross-contaminating and all that. I could see that being fine. I could see that vegans and omnivores going out together and eating and being all right. I don't know.
There's a barbecue restaurant here in town that just changed their menu, and they said that they adjusted it because of increasing demand or increasing requests from people, and the main adjustment is they now have 2 vegan options. I thought was interesting.
That is interesting.
And so I mean, they hardly had any vegetarian options, honestly. Like it was very meat heavy, but so now it kind of, it's more balanced and I could actually eat there, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah. Kind of opposite of what you're saying, but also in line with people want to go out together and want to,
right.
Have
and
options.
That's like the flip side, which we didn't really think about much, but like if vegan restaurants are adding meat to their menus, will we in turn see, that means more vegans are now choosing restaurants that aren't strictly vegan because they're choosing these places that have decent vegan options. You'd think there'd be some amount of pressure, not a lot, because it's not a lot of people still, but that some restaurants would see that opportunity who only serve meat things, opportunity to say, I'm going to be like them. And I'm going to also have vegans interested in our place. So I can compete, be in the same conversation or decision for a vegan consumer as some of these vegan places that now serve meat.
Yeah. So
I don't know. All right, Stephen has hit the nail on the head. Matt is forming his own veggie version of the "I Have a Dream" speech. That's exactly right. This is my big moment right here. This is as impassioned as I get. So I hope you're inspired, everyone listening to this.
There's a lot out of this episode. We started a new business. Your "I Have a Dream" speech.
That's right. The perfect weather report. I mean, it was a good day.
Yeah, the perfect weather report. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just at the end, 11:45, perfect timing. So, very nice end to a very good episode. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you for lots and lots of comments.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button. Check out No Meat Athlete Radio, the feed. If you're a podcast listener of podcasts, even if you come to this show live, check out the No Meat Athlete Radio feed because I put up yesterday's episode that involved Isabel. Talking about who in her early days of No Meat Athlete Radio fandom, was she more of a Doug or a Matt fan? So you can hear that answer.
I listened just for that.
I did too. And it was actually more even than I kind of remember.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was a great response. I felt good about it. She came for the Doug, she stayed for the Matt, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right. That's true. Good. Britters says NMA in the queue for this afternoon. I'd love to hear that, Britters. Thank you for that. And I don't know how to pronounce this one. Ethel Hadis says, I just joined, but bye. Thanks, guys. I don't know if that means they joined and they're done, or they're joined and the episode's done, so they'll be back. Hopefully. But I always like new people. Again, reminder, the Plant-Based Morning Show episodes will soon be on that No Meat Athlete Radio feed. I'll probably put them on there this week, and there will be overlap. They'll be on both feeds, but pretty soon it's only going to be on that feed. So you want to subscribe to that one. You'll get a few other pieces of content each week. If you don't like them, you can just filter them out. But Doug and I are going to be on 2 of them. I'll be on the other one.
3 of them.
Sorry, we'll be on one of the new ones. I'll be on both of the new ones, usually. Not always, but often. So hopefully you'll enjoy that content as well.
There's new cover art coming. It's going to be great.
Cover art, new lighting potentially. A new microphone for Isabel has been ordered. I'm going to get blinds for my office because the sun pours in the afternoon when we do the other show, and it's a disaster. So a lot of changes happening. And maybe we'll get the music even better with a Rodecaster. We'll see.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, that's it. Thanks, everyone, for coming. We'll see you tomorrow.